April 27, NBA playoffs recap right here on the bench. Mike, get me that intro, please. Hello, Filipinas! This is the bench, and welcome to our huddle, where we offer a layman's view on anything and everything basketball from a bunch of regular dudes who eat, sleep, and breathe hoops. We are a full house today. It's April 27. And I am Julio Dabzai Hard, and right with us back from hello Mike, how are you?
What's up?
And we also have with us Fafa EJ.
What's up, guys?
Baby EJ.
Oh,
Ay, nako. That's what you call what's that? Now we're gonna make benta. Before, but of course, no wait. Lastly, not lastly, most importantly, I don't know. He might walk out on me. Homie underscore J Ortega on
akala ko
IGJ.
nakalimutan na ako eh.
Of course not.
What's
Hey!
up from the boonies?
I wasn't. I'm just distracted.
Wala pa akong tulog.
Yeah, I'm just distracted by the cuteness. Diba? That's gracing our show. So let's go dive into it, ha. It's
Si
April
EJ parang
27.
puyat din eh. Oh. Itsura. Oh. Si EJ. Parang pinuyat ka rin eh, baby EJ eh.
It's it.
What? I'm waiting. I'm waiting for a comment from
Pretend
EJ. But,
everything's fine.
okay. Everything's fine. Okay. Before we get to the bracket, please do like and follow us on the bench live, especially if you like cute babies. And do subscribe to us on our YouTube channel, The Bench. Again, if you like cute babies, can we just go to the bracket already? Check this out.
I
Okay.
know, we'll start the west or the east.
We can go. You know what? Let's go to. What did we start the last time?
No, let's go to the East na lang kasi we have two series there that are closed out already.
Sige. Today, Miami defeats Atlanta.
Or gusto, ay teka lang, mali. Gusto mo huli na natin yung East? Pwede rin naman, huli na natin yung East.
Ay, you want
Oo.
Tama si Jay. I wasn't thinking about that. Huli na natin para finale yung mainit yung dulo.
Sige.
Mainit pa dun eh.
So forget about
Sorry.
Miami, ha?
I wasn't thinking. Sorry, go. Parang ako yung may baby ditong katabi na distracted. Sorry.
So yata walang tulog eh.
Well, we
Wala
don't
din.
have to go through all of them, no? I mean, the last time we talked about some of them, they haven't played yet. Like tomorrow,
Yeah. Yep.
Yes.
Well,
Yeah.
we'll start with Phoenix.
Games today,
We'll start with
and
Phoenix.
then let's go with the ones that are through now.
Phoenix. Yeah. No, Phoenix defeated New Orleans today, much to a lot of people's chagrin or whatever you want to pronounce it. Dismay. They pretty much controlled the ball game today from the start. And
From the get-go.
you guys have any thoughts on this? Go. I mean, jump right in.
I
Whoever
mean,
wants to.
I'm still hoping the Pels make it a series and win the next game, man. Kaya yan.
Bring it to a game 7.
Yes,
Yeah.
sana, di ba? That would be
Yeah.
nice.
More Achara.
More
More
Achara.
atsara. Paminta, palabok.
I'm just gonna say what I told you guys kanina. I was listening to a bunch of podcasts, and a lot of NBA reporters and analysts are so giddy about the upset. That that's because the Pelicans look good, but
Right.
I don't see it. I mean, it is like a total travesty if the Phoenix Suns lose out, and it's even bad for the playoffs actually. If you have an 8th seed who started 1-13, just all of a sudden knocking out a 60 plus
Had
something
to
win team,
get
di ba?
in via play-in, diba?
Yeah, that's right.
Did they have to
So-
get in via play-in?
Yeah.
Yep. They got in via play, but they beat the Clippers
Yep.
eventually.
Yeah, it
Um,
would be the biggest debacle.
Yeah,
That
in
would be
fact,
the biggest
But,
upset.
I think it just shows, that the play-in is worth it. It's worth it because
It's worth having. no?
uh,
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
Pelicans is one of those teams that improved for the better, much better. You know, so the play-in now showed that a team that can make that makes a team that makes adjustments in the season later on can turn into a very good team,
Right,
right? So I
right.
think the Pelicans
Right.
it's one of those teams where their record doesn't exactly show how good they are, diba?
Yeah.
And
And
now
they're
we're seeing it in
putting
the
up a fight.
playoffs.
Mm-mm.
I
And
mean,
and 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 just to
yeah,
add
go
to
ahead.
that, to what EJ is saying also, we have a lot of those fringe teams that are playoff worthy, din eh. If you look at the
Right.
like the Pels, nga, not just the Pels, dude. Look at Minnesota. I mean, they've
Mini.
choked.
Yeah.
Diba? They've choked that
They choke.
huge that huge lead the other day. Pero
Let's not get
I
into
mean, they're just down 3-2 against a number two Memphis who was
Well,
hot.
they
For what's hot
they,
all
they
season
sort
long,
they
diba?
sort of they sort of choked lang also again today. They were up
Yeah, they
big.
could have easily been up 3-2.
Yeah, and
Or
only lost
actually, they could have
by
easily.
two.
You know what? Forget it, man.
Yeah.
They could have easily been up. They could have closed the
Oh,
series
they would have been done 4-1. Diba?
4-2. They would have won the
4-2.
series
Yeah.
4-1. Tama,
Yeah.
tama. 4-1. If they didn't choke
4-1
out,
if they
choke
won
away
that.
that league,
Yeah.
tama.
Wait,
Yung
let's
two
let's stay
25-point leads that they lost that
let's
game.
stay
Okay,
muna
let's stay
on
with Phoenix
let's
now.
stay with Phoenix. Let's stay with Phoenix and the Pelicans muna.
Ay, oo, gusto na namin pag-usapan yung Minnesota. Bakit?
Yeah,
Joke,
no,
Ano
go,
mga
go,
with the Phoenix Pels, ano eh.
because sabi ni Joshua, GTA was able to get another 8-second violation of CP3, di ba?
Yeah.
Kawawa naman.
Galing.
Hey
GG.
Joshua, nice to have you back on the show. Diba? So we can move down. So are we done with Phoenix and Pelicans? We're in.
No,
Okay,
you're kidding. Go.
no, it's okay. It's okay. Yesterday naman, we also had a medyo.
Oo.
We had Dallas manhandle Utah to take a 3-2
Tambaku.
lead.
Oo. Tambaku
Uy.
first to.
Wala tayong walkout counter kay EJ.
Wala.
That wasn't a walkout.
Wasn't a
Hindi
Not
naman
doon.
walkout yun
Emergency
eh.
leave.
emergency.
Handling the baby. League.
Dapat baby counter. Ilang beses umiyak si Lee. Pag umiyak yung bata habang karga ni EJ, yun yung bilangin natin.
Dapat nga si EJ may baby
Basketball,
counter.
basketball. Wala. Basketball. Let's go.
Bakit? Wait, so we're gonna give EJ a baby counter. Okay, no. Anyway, Dallas.
Yeah.
Luca took over yesterday, and
Yeah.
he didn't really have to because they just all wala. Utah was almost dead in the water.
Non-existent.
Yeah.
That's a team with problems right there.
Diba?
It's not just coaching. I think Mitchell and Gobert have issues.
They do.
I don't think Gobert is that good. But if he goes to another team, Dubs, I think they'd be happy to have him. But as it is, that's not a team that's gonna win. I think they've already. I think they've reached their peak last year, and it's like I think that's as far as it's like they hit a ceiling.
Yeah.
That's as
And
good as
that's
they
it for
get.
them. Yeah.
My only
Ay,
take though. Go, Jay. Go, ikaw muna.
No,
Mine
ako,
naman
I
is,
have a feeling this team won't be together next season.
Yeah.
Okay, yep.
Snyder will be fired. They're gonna try and get wing defenders because they have none. They have
not
zero
Snyder will be
wing
fired once
defenders.
they lose, Jay. I believe that. You're right.
Yeah.
You're right.
And I think there will be roster changes here. They
Yeah.
can't be anchored by Gobert like that and then not be able to defend the perimeter. That's just not going to win any games in this kind of basketball that's being played right now. There's no way they're going to
Okay.
win anything.
But since we're all in agreement, and I know Mike is also in agreement that Utah's really. I mean, none of us have been. We couldn't voodoo Utah into a victory. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
I'm more interested now in the path of what seems like Luka and his team Slovenia just might have a chance at the Western Conference Finals when it didn't seem that way in the start. There's a-
Especially if Booker doesn't come back.
Or even
In
if he
time.
comes, or even if he comes back hobbled, because he
Right.
can come back hobbled and re-injure.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So it's kind of tricky.
Hamstring yan eh.
It's a hamstring thing.
That's
So
true. That's true.
how wild would it be if you had Luka in the Western Conference Finals after they get rid of Porzingis? That would be really nuts. I mean, that's
Yeah.
that's just me. Can you imagine they get rid of Porzingis and everyone
Yeah.
saying, "What? There's no more. It's just Luka and Well, that's Team Slovenia. It's just Luka and a bunch of people who work with Luka, and he's gonna end
But
up.
I think the Mavs were smart when they dealt Porzingis. People were saying they didn't get enough for the talent Porzingis had.
Yeah,
But they got role players that fit the system perfectly well. You have another ball handler that can also score in Dinwiddie, and you have Bertans who was actually used against Utah. He hit some threes there with Kleber and kind of made Gobert, nullified essentially.
yeah. Um,
Yep, and they dropped a how how much was the salary of Porzingis? They dropped
Oh
that huge
yeah,
yeah,
contract, dude,
that
yeah,
which
yeah.
too.
was
That
yeah,
too. Next year, they have leeway. They have some
right,
space to be able to add another good piece
right.
to the team.
Or resign
That's a good
Bronson.
move.
Are
Yeah,
they
yeah.
gonna resign? Are
Or
they gonna?
resign
Yeah.
Bronson and pay him his
At least they
money.
have
It's
flexibility now.
Yeah, yeah.
it's
Financial
certainly worth his
flexibility.
money
Yep.
now. Yep, yep.
Although I really do think I don't know I really do think Brunson's gonna skedaddle. Someone's gonna offer him a max deal that's really really good, and he'll be the number one option somewhere else. But
I don't
anyway,
know, huh?
okay.
No, knowing Cuban might splurge on keeping Brunson, at least because of what he's shown so far.
Yeah, but you know, naman, with what the players they got in the trade also made them faster in a
Yes,
sense with Dinwiddie and
Yep.
Bertans.
yes,
Yes,
that's
yep,
that's true, Joshua.
that's true. I think Brunson wants to kind of be the man somewhere else. That's how, no, because his dad would. I mean, as long as like for example, 35 million example lang. If it's a 5 million difference, you know how much money there is in the NBA now. There's a 5 million difference, and there's a chance for Brunson to be the man.
The
five
guy.
million less somewhere else. He might take that because he was a second round pick. So tuloy-tuloy yung stardom niya as
Yeah.
compared
But
to
that
being.
that
We'll
all
see. I don't
that
know.
all de- yeah, that all depends if he wants to win now or
I
go to a
mean,
losing team and be the man. Which
I
which
mean,
was
Second
Br-
round pick, walang pera,
Brunson
Jay. Wala pang pera yung contracts niya.
oo nga.
Brunson can always demand a trade to Orlando.
Yeah,
Diba? Kasi kung sa
diba?
OKC, may kalaban
Yeah,
pa siya doon. Babagay
yeah,
Robin
yeah.
pa siya sa
And
OKC. Or Houston,
and be
diba?
a
He can
loser
demand
for
a trade to
several
Houston.
years, man. Hirap yan.
That would be a first.
Kawawa naman what's
um,
that? Si Jalen Green.
next is the
Next.
Dubs Denver. They didn't play today. That's
They're
tomorrow
playing
pa.
tomorrow, and
Yeah,
I'm
I
completely
I
quiet
would
about that. I'm
uh,
I'm out. Go.
wala close out na yan, close out na yan.
I'm
Pinahaba lang yan eh, nagpalabok,
Yan.
paminta, at
Paminta
lahat
at
na.
Shara, lahat na.
Oo. Para lang mapuno at kumita uli yung Chase. Yun lang yun.
Ah.
Nag-eksperimento pa si Kerr eh.
Well, they wanna
Minsan ginamit
they
niya.
wanted to close it out and chase, diba? Yun lang yun. Para in front of their fans.
They
Ito,
wanted to
itong
chase
masaya
the win
actually
at home.
Yung Memphis, Minnesota, medyo
Yeah, okay.
masayang series ito.
Itong Memphis, Minnesota. Memphis came back again today. They were down by 13, if I believe, with 9 minutes left in the fourth quarter
Yeah.
to defeat the Timberwolves on a last-second layup by John
Layup.
Morant.
Oo.
The most
Uh,
improved player
a
and
a
rookie of the
scintillating
year.
layup.
The only
That's
most
kinda
improved
yeah.
and rookie of the year player in the NBA, John
That's
Morant.
kind of
Is that
weird though. I
in
was hoping
history?
Poole.
In the
I was hoping
history,
Poole would
PJ.
get
This is
that.
the only rookie of the year who's ever
Not
won the most
That
improved
doesn't
player.
make any sense, man. The improvement, while while he's a great player, he was already great to begin with. So
That's
the
why.
Hindi,
improvement there was improvement, but it's more in terms of consistency, right?
They should
You
have.
already
They should
saw
have.
how great he can be. Now just let's put it together, add a few more things, make it consistent, right? That's not most improved.
They should have given it to Michael
Oo nga.
Jordan also and Shaquille O'Neal and
Dude,
Magic.
Kobe
diba?
Bryant.
I was saying nga kung ganito lang, diba? Russ has a chance next year.
I don't
No, but
understand how big.
you know, but Jay Kobe wasn't rookie of the year, diba? He wasn't rookie of the
No, he
year. Eh.
wasn't. He
Yeah.
wasn't.
This one, well, unless Basketball Forever website is wrong, because I got the info from Basketball Forever website.
No,
that this
no,
is
no, no. He wasn't rookie of the year.
He was
He
bad.
hardly played this rookie year.
Yeah,
that's why
Medyo
nga, yeah.
binang post na ni Phil eh.
Kobe was crap because they hardly played him. There was, There was a
And
lot
he's
of
a high
stuff
school
going on,
guy.
diba? I mean, era naman talaga ng
Out
rooks,
of
diba?
high
If you're not,
school, Phil Jackson never really uses his
No one
shooting
played
Yeah.
game.
high school
And
players at that time, remember?
that all played into
no,
that.
Even KG was a,
yeah.
di ba?
Yeah.
Well,
Although he was an all-star na his sophomore year, despite coming off.
Actually,
He
in the
was.
early years of Kobe, di ba, he
Yeah.
was forcing things a lot, dude. Kasi he
Yes,
wanted to. He
because he
wanted
wanted to
to,
stay on the
yeah.
court.
Yeah, di ba? Ay, iksi lang ng time mo,
That's true.
nagpapasikat ka in that
That's
short
true.
amount of time, dude. That's
Oo.
usually
Oo.
disaster.
I'm
Puro
gonna yank it
basket,
back.
tapos
Was he
hindi na
forcing
natitira.
it the way Anthony Edwards was forcing all his shots in the fourth quarter, and the coach of
Dude, ako, let me tell you lang this. Like, can I just say this, ah? Edwards hit the biggest shot of the game for them. Diba?
yes,
That was a
He did.
huge three.
And
And
after
then,
missing after missing 8 straight, huh?
after missing 8 straight. But you know what the
Whatever
funny thing
number it was.
is? You know how, this really parang defines Minnesota, eh. He hits that big shot. Seconds after, he makes the biggest error of the game, dude. Did you
By
see how
trying
he
to steal it.
challenged?
Yeah, by
He
trying to steal it.
challenged the inbound.
Yeah, yeah.
yes,
Kaya nagkawala si, that's why
that's why
Ja had
Moran
the
had the
open
lane.
lane
Yeah,
because he tried to
yeah,
go for the steal, dude. Stay in front of your
right,
stay in front of
right,
your man. Diba?
right,
Huwag ka
right.
na, he got ambitious. He went for the steal,
Yeah,
open
that was a
layup.
mistake. But me also, I don't understand. No one scouts the scoop layup of John. No? They just can't. I don't know. I have no idea. I've seen that scoop layup time and time again, and no one wants to put a second hand
It's
down. It's
no, it's
always
I don't think it's Julio. The way he lays that up, that scoop thing,
yeah.
differentiates. It differs every time he does it. Eh. It's either the right or the left, or he
Dude,
goes hard
And
right,
it's
but plays it up
dude,
from the
it's
left.
very fast.
He adjusts.
yeah,
It,
it's
it,
very
it's
fast.
very
But
spontaneous. Eh.
but when
So it's
ako,
not that easy to
when
guard
I see
actually.
Ja go up, I always call scoop layup. Or he goes hard. You can tell naman. Eh.
Hindi,
The
pero
difference.
Yes,
kasi
but it's
he
not
has
that
the
easy to
teardrop,
make a
eh.
bang.
That's why ang hirap for a defender in the paint
Yes,
to
you
anticipate the
don't know
scoop
exactly
layup because
where
he can
it's coming.
Dude,
also do the teardrop, eh.
if you're a
Yes,
good
yes.
defender, anticipate the scoop and make him teardrop to death. It's a
Now
harder shot.
yeah, it really depends on the
I would,
defender, right? I mean,
yeah,
because if you're not
and
as good a defender, like knowing that it's coming and actually stopping it are two different
Yeah,
things,
yep.
but
right?
let's just
Yes,
So
say
now if you've got
exactly. That's
maybe
my point.
Draymond, but never mind.
Yan, pwede.
Let's
Baka
not talk about it.
Uy, one take naman the last. One take naman the last. One take naman the last.
Oh, la, la, la.
no, but anyway, I'll just say that I was listening to a I was making you guys kwento, but I listened to a podcast that there was this announcer saying, "How come everyone's calling Minnesota a choker?" Right? And he's like, "Minnesota did not choke away a lead. Minnesota was just being Minnesota. What does everyone expect
Yeah.
from Minnesota? They have a
I'm
first year or a
surprised they
second
won
year.
2 games. Seriously, I'm surprised.
That's why, guy. That's so, diba?
Yeah.
So
I,
looking at the
I wanna.
comments and
Ay, wait.
there.
Ano yan?
Yes, Joe Smith,
Ben
welcome.
the Destroyer, Baby Simmons. We'll get to
Nah,
that.
okay.
We'll get to that, Joe.
No,
Smith.
yeah, I'll shout out to Andre who's also here, and he said only Pat Beverly can do what? What can Pat Beverly do? Stop. That's true. Wait, that's true also. When Pat Beverly fouled out, that's pretty much when Ja
fouled
went
out.
nuts.
Yes, he went
Ja
nuts.
was having a bad game until
Hindi, before
Yeah.
we go, before we get too far, to what you were saying kanina, Julio, na wala ba naka-scout sa scoop layup ni Ja? Dude, that was the end game. Who
I-
drives? Who drives? Who drives for the win nowadays? Nobody does that anymore.
I love it though. But we've been wanting.
Yeah,
to see
yeah,
more of that.
yeah.
Why not
Exactly.
3 when you only need 2?
Exactly.
But that's
I'm a
what Boston
nobody.
did.
Yeah, no,
That's
I'm
what
just saying
Boston did.
I'm a nobody. And when Ja went already for the basket, I was like, scoop layup. Scoop lay. Because he always does this, even against the Warriors, he does that scoop layup, man. It's always a up and then he'll jelly it under, whether right or left. Yeah, but you have to. I mean, if you're a defender, you also have to go up and expect it to go to your right or left. You can't just go up.
Yeah.
I mean,
It's
come on.
easier said than done though, I think.
I'm a
Because
nobody.
Very
And
spontaneous.
dude, I don't know what you know
I
what.
wanna ano though, ha? But going back to the game, I kind of want to give credit to Brandon
Puta, sorry. Brandon
Because-
Clark was the MVP of that game, man.
Yeah, man. JJJ, ano naman, foul trouble, all that shit. He
JJ
hasn't
has
really
been
been having
gone.
a.
He's had a disappearing act this whole series.
Yeah, he hasn't had
Really
a
very
good series at
disappointing. I
all.
mean, he was one
Brandon
of their
Clark,
guys.
Brandon Clark, though, super stepped up. The guy was after every friggin' ball, man.
Yep.
If he couldn't get it himself personally, he tapped it out. He tapped one out straight to Ja for a three-pointer.
Yeah.
Ayaw.
Yeah.
He really made a difference for them, I think.
The reason they were able
comeback.
to come back was not actually John Morant. The reason they were able to come back was
Was
because
Brandon
Brandon
Clark's
Clark
effort.
kept on getting them second, third possessions. That was
Right.
I don't know. Yeah, Manol. Hi Manols. Yeah, you're asking.
Hey,
Kanina.
Manol.
I don't know why Melton's not playing. Maybe they don't trust his shot, or there's no one to guard. If there's no one for Melton to guard on the other side, because Melton's a scrappy.
Maybe it's a matchup thing. Yeah.
It's a matchup thing.
Yeah, but good
actually,
observation, Manos.
yeah. But you're right, Jay. I mean, I was like, why can't they had Kat, they had Vanderbilt.
Ang
They couldn't,
lalaki nila.
they couldn't secure the rebound whenever
Yeah.
they
Yeah.
would miss, huh? They would
Yeah.
miss in the comeback, but they couldn't
Right.
secure the rebound, man.
Right.
That
I was
was-
watching the post game interviews, and Kat was being asked about something about to that effect. All he could say was, "He's got a nose for the ball."
Dude, ito for
Puta yan.
I had Cat in fantasy this year, and for some reason, he was so erratic with his rebounds. And that could probably also be coincide with how good he is with his chase now. So maybe he hangs out too much outside.
Right.
According to
Kasi
Manolo, this
mahilig
is true
tumira
also.
sa press eh.
I sorry, no, this is true also that Josh free throws really helped the comeback because
Yeah. Yeah.
he kept on going to the basket.
Yep.
Right.
That's true also.
Attack talaga sa attack.
On the other
But
side,
that's
did you see
really his
that?
game. That's really his game.
I was asking Mike nga during the wala bang ibang play si what's his name, Chris Fitch? Dude, how many plays did they go to Anthony Edwards in the I mean, what Cat was invisible
Oh.
after he made that
Oh.
that whistle thing.
Yeah.
He didn't attempt a single shot, man.
Gumanon
D'Lo.
pa talaga
Yeah, no,
eh.
As in,
Huwag kang
crunch time-
gaganon kung di mo may panalo.
Crunch time. They're giving it to the second year player who EJ made into a star. I mean, diba? I mean,
I really
was-
thought he was useless, man.
Kakabasura
Yeah.
ni EJ
Yeah.
eh, putsa, naging star eh.
So technically now Memphis is up 3-2, and do you guys think that they will close us out in game 6 or aabot to ng game 7?
Baka gumain
you know what?
7 to. Gulo
This,
ng
this has
series
been
na
such
to.
an unpredictable series.
Yeah,
Honestly,
man,
I think
it's hard.
I think there's a lot of, and not because of how good everyone is. It's because of how inexperienced everyone is.
Yes,
You don't know
exactly.
who's gonna step up.
Exactly.
You don't know
EJ.
who's gonna suddenly show up for this
Right.
this game and for which team.
Actually, in
you know,
that-
there are
yeah.
a few steady guys, but you know, you don't know which version of the team is gonna
It's
show
gonna
up
show up. Right.
just yet. You know, in a year or
yeah.
two, I'd say if Memphis were back in this situation, I'd say Memphis, right?
Well, yeah,
But-
of course.
Right now,
Well,
it's just you know
And that's
Cat
why
could, wake up again the next game and Anthony Edwards could make more plays, and they could win, right?
Pat Beverly
It's
can
there.
stay in the game.
It's Minnesota home court again next game, right?
Oo.
Yeah, yep.
Actually, that's exactly why I wanted this series to happen. Kasi pareho sila. It's they're the two most inexperienced teams if you look at the whole board
Yeah.
in
Right,
terms of
yeah.
playoffs. So I want they're good for each other. If they are to make a run or start developing their talent for playoff basketball, they're good for each
This is
other
the
kasi
time.
patas sila.
Yeah.
They're
Right.
not against an experienced team who will, knock them out 3-1 or 4-1 or anything like that.
Kasi
Diba?
on-
Ito bakbakan talaga
You
sila.
see it on paper.
Yep.
These two teams are pretty evenly matched, right?
Right.
Also, yeah,
And
man for man.
you've got people that need developing on both sides. So yeah, I agree that put them together and it's like there's a potential for them to grow. and
Yep.
hopefully next season they take it further. Not that I really care, but
Yeah, I was actually, yeah.
Well, ako naman, I mean, if you're gonna talk about that, I hope I hope one of them drops out next year. Para kami naman, yung Spurs naman, baka pwede naman kami
but
pumasok.
I can assure you that one of them will drop out of this series.
If Memphis
100%.
naman is the second seed,
One of
wait,
them
wait.
might,
Sige,
di ba,
Brave
it's
okay.
call.
likely
Brave call.
Minnesota that
Okay.
drops out. Not naman siguro Memphis who's a second seed, right?
No, no, no. Yeah, that's
Now-
what I meant. No, one of them, that's one of them drops out.
You know what?
Oo, tanggal
I
yan.
got-
Okay, you know-
Papasok.
You know-
I guarantee you Memphis will not drop out next year. Let's move to the East.
Yeah, let's move to the East kasi you know
Let's
what?
go.
Surprisingly, among all the matchups, we've talked about the Memphis Minnesota the longest for some
Maybe
reason.
nga. But because, hey, di ba?
No, that's
Masaya eh.
yeah.
Masaya
Go.
yung laban.
Miami, Atlanta.
Yan,
Miami,
tapos
why
na.
are we gonna? All the time for Miami, Atlanta was moved to Memphis, Minnesota. That's that's where we're going here. Because Miami closed out Atlanta 4-1. I'm not
And mind
surprised.
you, Miami didn't even bother fielding Butler.
Yes.
Parang sinampal lang tong Hawks eh.
Ah.
Wala. Si Oladipo tatapos sa
And
inyo.
actually, what I will give my time to Julio here to educate everyone why Trey Young did not choke.
No, I'm not gonna go into that now.
Did not
What?
choke ba?
What?
Also
No,
choked
no,
eh.
no. Why it was not choking?
Okay.
Why are people saying that Trey Young is choking?
I don't know. You
Is that
said
is that what's going around?
I don't know. I don't know.
No, because the question is, did Trey Young choke in this series? Because what did he go? I think he had like 2 horrible games.
Right.
He had the first
like 3
game
or
na
4
horrible.
horrible games, dude. Not
3
just
to 4 ba? Every game that they lost was a horrible
He
game.
shot
right?
really bad. Yes. The only game they won was the game that he played.
The only stat that I saw there was he had more turnovers.
Here,
Turnover.
in
Manoli
this
called
series.
it.
There. He
Yeah,
had more
then field
turnovers
goals.
than
Yan,
field
Manoli
goals.
called it. Tama yan.
Yeah, I think we were in the same chat group where I saw this stat. So
Ay, can I go back lang to the Memphis, Minnesota? Kasi I have a similar stat.
sige. Go
I have a
see.
similar stat.
What?
Si Ja has more tweets than field goals also this playoff. First in NBA history.
No way. Are you serious?
In this playoffs, yes. I saw that meme the other day. He had more tweets than field goals in this year's
no.
playoffs. Anyway,
Baka mabawasan niya, binili na
Following-
ni Elon Musk eh.
He's following social media too much.
I don't know,
Patayan.
dude.
Okay.
Go.
No, I don't think. Well, if you ask me, I don't think Trey choked in this series. I think Atlanta as a whole just messed up this whole season. And going into these playoffs, we thought Atlanta would get it back together. I think more it shows that maybe last year was more of a fluke. And this is more of the Atlanta that we're supposed to be seeing moving forward, that they're really not ready yet. The only weapon they really have is Trey. And once you have a team that can take out Trey, and if he can't adjust, that's it. Game over.
I was
Right,
actually, but I will say it's not even the only weapon. There's a bunch of weapons that couldn't figure it out, and it's
No.
like
Yeah,
and
well,
Hunter's
Yeah.
game, to 36 points was, too little, too late. Where was this more often in the season so that they could figure out, how do we use
Yeah.
this guys to space
Right.
out, the floor. So he scores
Yeah.
36 points, but everybody's still covering Trey anyway because nobody's expecting, so
Right.
Trey couldn't get it going either. Yeah, did they
Bogdanovic
choke?
didn't play well.
But can I
Herter
say, like,
didn't
for
play
example,
a good series.
To like if Trey is something like but he doesn't even call himself a Steph. He calls himself like more like a Steve Nash, right? If Trey was really more like a Steve Nash, you'd see the elevation of Bogues, you'd see the elevation of Hunter, and he'd be able to figure it out. But maybe he's still not at that level yet as a player. I mean,
Steve Nash took
No,
a while
and-
din, ah.
But
yeah.
that goes
Steve
the
Nash
same.
took
That
a
goes
very
the same
long
to
time. Yeah.
Yeah, and that goes the same to the people he's passing to.
Yeah.
They're also not up to par yet. Boggs had a so-so series. Herter wasn't really that good. Like EJ said, Hunter too little, too late. Wala rin tumulong eh. Capella wasn't there also to begin with. Parang I think this was his first game back. He only scored 2 points, pulled down like 5 boards. He wasn't a factor at all.
But
Yeah.
at least
So
he played.
We're gonna get to that later.
no, but credit where credit is due also. I mean, Miami played an amazing D
Yeah.
against this hyper offensive Atlanta team, and they couldn't score because of that D. I think the matchup with Lowry cost Trey a lot of problems also.
And dare I say, di ba you said each of they suppose, I thought also, I'm on that, I was on that bandwagon that Atlanta had a lot of weapons.
Yeah.
I'm seeing them,
exactly.
no, I'm seeing there every year that I'm starting to question, are they, when will these weapons actually come into fruition? When will
When
John
will they
Collins
mature?
become, yeah, I mean, I'm
Oo.
starting to
Kailan
think that
magsasabay-sabay.
they might end up becoming all a bunch of mediocre players.
Right.
So, I
They
mean,
need, I don't know what's going on with their
Diba?
development behind the scenes. Like, the Dubs, we saw what suddenly they did, right? So I haven't really been following what Atlanta's been doing, but now they have to really start seeing Huerter and Hunter. They kept them, diba? So now
Yeah.
it's like, okay, shooting coaches, skills
Right.
coaches,
Right.
or maybe it's just one guy actually that can teach them all of that. Pero it's like they need to start focusing, really developing these guys because they kept them, so they saw potential in these guys. But we saw this year that for some reason, oh, why did you perform worse than when you actually had the playing time the year before and did so much better, diba? I mean, the year before, yeah, it's like it's whoever had the playing time was the one that would improve between Cam Reddish, Hunter, and Horter.
Right.
It was just a
But
matter of playing time. Diba? So I was thinking, oh, they took out Reddish, so now Horter and Hunter are gonna have playing time. But for some
Right.
reason, it's like they weren't
Wala
able
rin.
to deliver this year.
Oo. Oo.
But I guess everyone
Bombs
forgets
also.
that they beat Philadelphia kasi last year, which cost all the whole. I mean, the team that they ended up beating to get to the
Well,
Western Conference
yeah,
Finals.
and to segue to the next series, look,
Oh, sige, go.
Raptors
I wait.
Raptors have won 2 straight.
I mean, yeah, I was gonna say, speaking of choking,
Yeah.
let's go to
Wait.
that.
Before we
Scotty
go,
Barnes pa rin,
I'm gonna say
rookie of
hi
the
lang
year,
to,
deserves it.
I'm gonna say hi to Errol. We'll talk about the Boston Celtics.
Oh,
Yeah,
for
we'll
later.
get there. We'll get
We'll
there.
get there, Errol. We're saving it for last.
And then yun. So okay, Jay, continue on the Philadelphia and your Toronto
Oh, yeah.
Raptors.
My
You
Toronto
are Toronto
What the
Raptors.
hell? When was I a Toronto fan?
You know, dude, every team that you believed in this year is gold. You do know that, no? Everything you've said is gold this
No,
year. So you,
I'm not naman a fan. All I said was, this team is pretty stacked. I mean, if you look down that roster, dude, ang daming bigs, ang daming wing defenders too, hindi lang basta wing. You have Barnes, who's rookie of the year, who's developing into a really solid player. You have Gary Trent, who may be inconsistent at times, but dude, when he's on, he's on. And they're giving Philadelphia a run for their money. Ano ba tong record ni Doc? 3-1? Baka may bagong record, 3-0.
Yan nga.
Diba?
Ako, it's really hard to give credit to the team that's beating Doc's team. You know what I mean? Diba? Parang you can't really give full credit to that, dude. Diba?
Mama,
Kasi there's two
you-
sides to that.
Oh my
There's
God.
two sides to that.
And hey, Van Vliet did not play.
Yep,
Yes,
exactly.
Oo nga.
Diba?
So,
Yung Barnes ang nagpo-point ka hayop eh.
I'll say, man.
But I am not gonna make any choking jokes of a series until the Dubs close out Denver. So I'm
Pero wala pa naman. I mean,
I
wala
will
pa naman.
We're
Yeah,
talking
it's-
about Philadelphia and
Phillies-
Doc.
Phillies club,
Natakot
dude,
siya
you know.
makarma, dude.
dude. Dude, we've lost so many weird leads of games. We might just lose the whole lead of the series, man. So I'm flowing and
Dapat may segue counter yan, Mike. Nasa East
Ha?
na tayo, bumalik na naman ng West eh. Dapat may
Yeah,
segue counter yan si...
no, I just commented that I won't talk about choking.
Yan.
13.
Wait,
Lucky 13.
can I segue again para we hit 14? Ayoko yung number na yan.
Hindi na segue yan. kasi
Sandali, I don't have a
eh.
graphic for 14 yet. Yeah, I haven't done my homework.
Oh, Are we
No,
gonna
but
move on?
seriously,
Oh wait, are we gonna stay
seriously,
on? Oh,
do
go.
you guys think what's wrong with Philadelphia? Harden
For
hasn't been aggressive. Embiid called Harden out during a press con. What's happening there?
that's because Embiid
Okay, well,
likes making
again,
love.
I think that's just uh I don't know, man. That's just a lack of maturity there for
Embiid, no?
anyone to do that. Keep it in the family. Stuff like
Yeah.
that.
Well, it's
But
Embiid, dude.
so I mean, it's unfortunate
Ang lakas
that
man laglag.
people go out. I mean, that's your own teammate. So you say
Yeah,
that we'll
yeah.
figure it out
Right.
because I feel that's what they need to do. Again,
Yes.
I mean, I keep saying that don't underestimate chemistry. The time it needs for a team to
Mm-hmm.
grow. And this is a
Mm-hmm.
huge superstar going into a new coach, new system, new players, sharing the court with another superstar
Right.
who was potentially MVP, who
MVP.
actually
Yeah.
preferred to be MVP over the other guy. And um, it's well, when did he get there? Like less than halfway, more than halfway through the season already. So I mean, there wasn't that many games left
Mm-hmm.
for Philadelphia to put this all together, right?
Right.
Yep.
Right.
And so I think that's what's happening. Together with Embiid suddenly trying to learn step back threes because Harden is there. So he's distracted by I gotta pick up this new skill. He's been trying that. I think he's been trying that a little too much. You know.
According
Oh,
to
Embiid
Manoli,
called out Doc that he doesn't know how to use
yeah,
Harden.
Ah,
well,
it's
he kind of,
both, Manoli. You're right. It's
yeah,
both. He
yeah,
called
yeah,
out Harden.
he-
He called out Doc also
yeah.
for not knowing how to use Harden. Tama, tama.
That team likes to, and their call outs, man, it's amazing.
Yeah, di ba? It's
If
just
they
not
keep doing that,
healthy
they're
eh.
gonna implode. Just
Yeah,
just
yeah.
watch. They need a coach in there to tell them, Shut up. Let's take care of
Right,
this."
right. They've had two chances to close out the Raptors, who no one thought would be winning this series anyway. Maybe save for me. But
Nah,
Alam mo problema kasi ni Embiid, dude, di ba? I've been saying that Cat's problem is his basketball IQ. Ang problema ni Embiid, dude, is his basketball EQ.
emotional.
Oo, dude.
Uh,
Medyo, he's a
sige.
cupcake, dude. Di ba? I mean,
I'm just wondering. It's like, have you seen a team succeed where they keep calling out?
In the
Yeah.
press.
At a
Yeah.
certain point, that even messed up the Lakers with Kobe and Shaq.
Me- You know, baka sabi ni Andre,
I mean, it's
Embiid
like,
caused Simmons mental illness.
no. And
Yeah,
and
he
actually, he did. And di ba, subsequently, he caused Simmons back pains.
Oh my God. So, you
So,
know what?
but it
di
was
ba?
Doc Rivers that called out
Yeah. No, but
Simmons, right? So what
both.
But also,
Both.
no, both of them.
Embiid
Both of
also.
them.
Dude,
Yeah.
I'll just say this, if Philly wins in game 6, 4-2, non-issue. If Philly goes to a game 7, there's that line for me. Game 6, they win, no issue. Toronto got 2, no biggie. Goes to a game 7, I don't know what the hell Doc's doing. Being
Yeah.
up 3-0 and
Game
going to a
7 with Doc Rivers
And
is
if you
Yeah.
ask
a
me,
box of
that's just
chocolates.
as usual.
Right. No.
diba?
And even if they eventually win this series against Miami, I'm not giving Philadelphia a chance. Sorry.
Well, not me. I guess that's where we differ. Regardless of what happens here, as long as they win 4-2, or even if they win, actually, just embarrassing that it goes to a game 7. But I think clean slate against Miami all
super.
over again. I mean, that's the thing. It's I just
Yeah.
it reminds me lang
But
of
the-
it. No, sorry. It reminds me lang of the Dubs in 2019. Segue number 14. It reminds me of when they faced the Clippers, and they were everything was being hyped. So when the Dubs won 4-2, it was like, wow, the Clippers team gave them a hard time. Not really, you know what I mean? The Dubs controlled the whole series. It's not just because you don't sweep them or you don't win 4-1. You
Ayan
were
naman.
no, but
Yeah
that's how it's
naman.
coming out with this thing. So if Philadelphia wins,
Right.
no issue. If it
Mike.
goes to a game 7, shame on you, Doc. I mean,
Milang,
that's the-
Milang.
Ayan, go,
If
go.
if they do win this and they end up facing Miami, well, Miami's already waiting in the wings. It's a team. It's like this. It's a fragmented team against a team that's super solid in the locker room.
Well, that's
Parang,
fair. That's
yeah.
fair. Yeah. I agree.
Although I don't think Philadelphia man is at that point where it's fragmented. I think they're just figuring it out, right? But they can get there. And
They can,
they've
yeah.
done it. They've done it, and they can get there. But I think right now, wala pa.
Lalo
I
na
mean,
if
I
it
think they're
goes
just
game
figuring it
7
out.
nga, like Julio said.
Yeah.
Diba?
Um,
If it goes game 7.
Pero
Well, we'll see.
plus one sa Segway counter, by the way.
Next one.
Noted.
Noted.
Oh,
Next one.
Milwaukee,
Milwaukee,
Chicago.
Chicago. Okay, where do we go with this also?
Well, Zach Levine, health and safety protocols.
Exactly. Where do we go with that also?
Game over.
Really?
Next. Yes.
Yeah. Zach Levine.
Oh,
Zach
wow,
Levine,
I
health
didn't
and
know
safety
that.
protocols.
Wala,
Game
na-
over, pare.
Oo.
Not that it was not game over, even if that did not happen.
Yeah, that's
Not that it would have helped.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah, it's not a factor.
No.
Parang
I
ano
was
na lang yan,
hoping-
side story.
Oo.
I was hoping for more from Caruso. I'm not a fan of Allen, but props to him for
Stepping
even
into
turning
Middleton.
booze into energy.
Yeah.
I mean, he's really a heel, and embracing that.
Oo.
And you get a guy like that moving forward, that's gonna be annoying, man. I mean,
How long?
Milwaukee.
How long will Middleton be out? Another
That I don't
2
know.
weeks?
well,
But
3 to 4
3 to
weeks when
4.
it started. When it
3 to
started, so
4 weeks.
maybe about 2 to 3 weeks na lang. While Booker was
Some-
2 weeks,
Yeah.
he should be a week away. Booker.
So, I'm
So it
excited
looks
for
like
this second round
conference
matchup.
finals comeback, if ever. At the
Could
very
possibly
earliest.
be. Could possibly be.
Kung umabot sila dun. Yeah.
Remember how I said before in one of our shows that I thought Grayson Allen was. I've always liked Allen. I thought he was a great pickup for the off. I mean, in the off season. That's a
The
very
Bucks, yeah,
secretive
we kind of all agreed naman.
because
Yeah, it
no,
was a good pickup.
I wanted the Dubs to draft Segway 15. I wanted them to to draft Allen before just to have Draymond and Allen and
It
become
was,
the haters.
di ba it was Memphis that drafted him, di ba?
Yes. Yep.
Yeah, I
Yes.
always thought he was bagay there when he got drafted.
I would
Oo
have
nga.
hated Memphis so much more.
Yeah.
Okay, are we? So this is pretty much done. Are we gonna go to the highlight of our show? I guess.
Yeah.
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 Okay.
Let's go.
And I
The
was saying, Capella, potential last game is like, oh, what's he really gonna do? Well, at least he played. Versus,
Eto na.
The only sweep in the whole playoffs.
Baby.
If I told you that the only sweep in this year's playoffs will be against Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving, would you have believed me? Would you have believed me, baby EJ?
if what?
If the only
If what?
sweep would have happened against KD and Kyrie.
If you said that,
Yeah.
No,
I wouldn't have
Right?
believed you
I
kasi
had them much higher in my list.
Exactly.
So if there is a team that
Well-
I actually believe,
No, you know what's funny?
Yes.
No, I was talking to Andre the Destroyer kept he kept on barraging me like, how could you believe the Lakers and the Nets were any good? I was like, not just me, man. And I posted an article of 16 ESPN writers that predicted at the start of the season who they think would be the finalists, right? And the biggest winners from the East and the West were the Nets and the Lakers. That's just, I mean, these are the
That
16.
just goes to show how sponklong they are.
Yeah, so no. But it wasn't only kumbaga, it's not me. It's general. I mean, if you've watched enough NBA,
Yeah.
you know that the veterans will take it home. Dapat. I have never. This is actually a first for me, dude. Name me a team in history that won with the capacity of LeBron, AD, and Westbrook not even make the playoffs.
Yep.
Name me a second squad with the capacity of KD and Kyrie to be swept in the first round.
But
After
no one
being-
no one expected a sweep. No one did.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's
if
why
you,
nga.
if you say so, you're a liar. No one
Yeah,
expected that. But I've always said this team, whether it's even if it's led by KD and Kyrie, is super money pissed. They have no one else. I've always believed I don't think that's why Boston won that game. They didn't care who they would end up playing against. They knew they could beat this team. I thought they could also. Not sweep, but I knew they had a chance beating the Nets for sure. Because
Good.
of how lipid the Nets were.
Dude,
You know what?
everything
While
he said
Jay,
this season was good.
while it's Jay talking, let's talk about Tatum for a bit. How
Yeah, let's go, Jay.
Go
The
ahead.
floor is yours.
no.
See?
How did you guys find Tatum this series?
Kayo muna. Alam
Dude,
niyo yung
I
sasabihin ko
was
eh.
setting it up for you, dude.
Oh, okay. Well, Tatum isn't that 6'6" guard anymore. He's a 6'10". He grew, huh? He's
Yeah,
a
but that's he
six
was never
ten, more
6'6",
mus.
dude.
He's
He's
6'10".
6'10".
No,
Yes.
he's close. Dude, he's
He's
closer to
6'10"
6'10"
now.
now.
Dude,
He's still,
he's
Yeah.
taller than KD now.
yeah,
No
dude.
naman.
He's
Grabe
he
ka.
Yeah,
fucking
dude,
Not
he
taller than
is.
KD.
No,
Then,
dude, he
nakuha
is.
lang ng KD.
There was a shot on the court with them beside each other. Dude, he's taller than KD now.
well,
Well,
I'll,
basta,
I'll just say
he's
this.
that
He was
height now.
he
He's
was
at least
drafted 6.
6'10".
He was drafted 6'8". He doesn't
Yeah,
look 6'8"
6'8".
anymore.
Okay.
That's all I'll say.
But
He
no,
doesn't look
yeah.
6'8" at least.
No,
So,
no.
yun na
He's
lang yan.
taller,
Okay,
he's
bitaw ng coach
heftier.
nila. Yeah,
Oh.
bitaw ng coach nila 6'10" siya. Not
Yeah,
officially,
Oo.
but yeah.
Right.
So it's like
Yeah.
yun nga, parang he's not
Yeah.
6'8". That's
He's not
crazy,
6'8".
dude.
Dude, kasi he was drafted at 19, EJ. 19 years old rin si Tatum when he
Yeah.
got out of Duke.
See, that's
So-
another thing.
Okay.
When he was drafted, he was only 19. Sure, he made the the Eastern Conference Finals agad. That was sort of a fluke, naman. I don't think anyone here expected a young kid at 19 to be progressing that fast. Given the time he's had now, how old is he now? 24, right?
Probably.
Wow. Bata pa.
Dude, now
Super
now
bata
you're
pa.
seeing where all the hard work he's been doing is
Yeah.
finally paying off. Dude, the guy worked with Kobe. The guy's been trying to lift his game every single year, and you see them on the slow improvements. And you can't win. You can't naman also win by just you doing that kind of work. Now that Udoka is there, there's a system. It took a while for that system to kick in, but it has kicked in. And dude, Boston's playing really, really well. This is a team that could possibly upset a Bucks team. Possibly. I'm not the one gonna say they can beat the Bucks. I think the Bucks are still the team to beat. But if there's a team that can make an upset, that would be Boston. And
Wow.
that team's being led by Tatum right now.
Wow.
Dude, he defended KD one-on-one Dian, huh?
Yeah.
And made KD work for every point he got, dude. Pagdating ng fourth quarter, pagod na ang KD. Galing.
I'm doubling down on you, Jay. You've been spot on this whole season. I am no
Grabe naman,
disagreement
grabe
from
naman.
me, whatever, man. Absolutely zero.
Alam mo may agenda eh, no? Alam mo may agenda pag umirit si Julio ng ganyan.
The only thing.
Nabubudo na tuloy eh, pucha.
No, hindi. Each go, EJ.
I will say that where I placed, Brooklyn on my list is because they had Seth Curry. Wait,
The wrong Curry. They had the wrong Curry, dude.
No, they didn't have Seth Curry yet. No, Seth came from Philadelphia, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
And then they I don't know.
We
Okay,
got him
but
late
they still
na.
had James Harden, diba?
And Joe Harris. And
Oh, they
and
did.
yeah, and Harris.
And
I
that's
mean,
why
it's
they
like
were highly touted.
very
Tama si
thin
EJ.
now, but they were a lot. They were a lot more, coming into the season, and that looked like a dangerous team. But I did not foresee Kyrie to have problems with that vaccine. I did not foresee Harden being traded. I did not foresee that as soon as Simmons left the Sixers, that he wouldn't play at all, even for Brooklyn. How could anyone, see all of that coming? But for sure, Brooklyn threw away this chance. That they had these three guys together. They had a slightly better team overall. So, medyo it's really hard managing egos. If you have that many superstars, and that said, it's really disappointing where the OKC Big Three went since. So sure, Durant won 2 championships, but it's like since then it's been a disaster for all of them. You know.
Question.
Wait,
You guys think maybe this is the end of the super team?
Dude, that's why I'm in all black now. I'm mourning.
you're
I'm more, nobody asked me about my attire,
Yeah, yeah.
dude. I'm
A black
attending the
man ako.
funeral of the super team era.
but before we get, that's gonna
Amen.
be a good topic. Before we get into that, Joshua goes para on the Tatum topic that he's no longer forcing tough shots, which I agree with, or putting
Yeah.
himself to make tough shots. Plus, him and Brown are sinking so well and sharing offensive
Yep.
loads as
And
well.
he's not
Sharing
chucking
load
shots from three all game long.
All the
Yeah.
time, yes.
all the
He's
time.
pouring
Ako,
into
here's
the
my take,
basket.
Let me just na kasi si Jay would always give me a hard time na I don't praise Tatum enough. Yeah, okay. Let me say this lang, okay? Tatum was a big victim of his own success during his rookie
Early.
season. Yes.
Early.
So
Right.
after that performance on his rookie season, expectations went through the
Super,
roof, diba?
super high.
So everyone was expecting him to be the superstar na in the Celtics given that Kyrie left the year after, diba? So parang yun yung build up eh. And then
Right.
year after year, he couldn't live up to it because after all, it was just his first few years in the NBA, diba?
Yes,
Yeah.
But
yes,
then
yes.
he got to a point where akala mo hinog na eh. And there was a build up. Maybe that was a year, the last 2 years.
Mhm.
Na there was a build up na parang, you know what, this is Tatum's year. And then it doesn't happen.
Mhm.
So medyo okay. I'm at that point now na I'm not gonna be a fan or I'm not gonna praise you until you show me something first. Kasi unahan, I mean, 'di ba? It's like saying na Zion's gonna be amazing when he hasn't done anything yet, 'di ba? So I
He
don't want to
stopped
give that to
eating
Tatum yet.
Doritos and yeah.
Oo, wala pa eh. And end of the day, you can be a star pero not really do anything in the playoffs. 'Di ba? Marami din ganyan eh na
Oo.
superstar, very flashy, sell seats or whatever. But then they're shit in the playoffs. So,
Let
'di
me
ba?
ask you this.
Maybe Tatum is like that also. So I want to see. I want him to shut him up actually. Shut me up actually. Let's see.
Let
Well,
me
they
ask
already
you
won
this.
the first
Let
round, first
let
sweep,
me ask
and
you
only
this,
Yeah.
sweep.
Mike. Sorry. Let me
Yeah,
ask
go
you
ahead.
this, Mike. Sweeping KD, Kyrie in the playoffs, defending KD, and making KD look bad, performing better than KD. Is that a good start for you?
Oh, it is. It is. I have to say. But again,
Because,
Jay,
dude, I mean, he
No, no,
swept,
no. It is. It is. It is
defended
impressive.
KD
It's
and swept
impressive.
the net.
It's an impressive feat.
That's
Okay?
pretty
But
damn good.
then,
Yeah.
but then, also, ikaw din nagsabi eh,
Oh,
Brooklyn is manipis. So, how
oh,
big of a feat is it really when you have a very manipis na team, di ba?
no
I
one
mean, if
gave Boston a chance.
and
Everyone
then
thought the Nets would
that's why
win
ako,
this
I was
series.
saying that let's see and I'll hold my judgment until I see the
Uh-oh.
Milwaukee
Fair,
Boston
fair, fair. It's
series
fair. It's fair.
or the Miami
Let's see what he
Boston
does
series,
against
'di
the
ba?
Bucks.
Then
Let's see
let's
what
see.
he does
Then let's
against
see
the Bucks.
talaga yung 'di ba? Na he's against a
Right,
full
right,
team.
We're gonna go
right,
into a
right.
hot topic after this. I'll give my take also. Um, I've never hated Tatum. I mean, I just Jay's loved
Uy, wait
Tatum
lang.
from
I
the
don't
start.
hate Tatum, ah. I
No, but
just
no, but there.
just to
Mike naman
clarify.
has never said he
No,
hated.
okay.
He's just,
I
he's
just
just
don't praise
waiting
him.
on
Yeah,
the
yeah.
Yeah, you don't
Yeah.
get
praise
out.
him. Remember when we were trashing the Celtics? There was an episode that we were trashing the Celtics. We didn't get why they were so low, and I always
Mm,
said there is nothing wrong with the Celtics if they keep. There was a question, pa nga, when that
mm.
smart thing happened, is that should they trade? And I was like, no, you just keep the core together.
Yes,
In
yes,
fact,
Yeah.
sir.
in fact, when this whole Celtics thing with Brad Stevens came along, I was a fan. I was a fan of them when they traded IT out and they brought
Mm,
in Kyrie. Jay didn't
mm.
like it, remember? You loved
Yeah.
IT. You
Uh,
never
Uh-oh.
understood why
Uh-oh.
Boston would do that. And I loved watching Boston then. They
yeah, I,
got
li- I
Hayward.
I like the team also, yeah.
I
Like a
followed Tatum
fan.
from draft year. Um, I never lang saw him as a star even from the start because he was kind of pushed into stardom
Right.
when Gordon
Too
Hayward came.
early, right?
But
As to
yeah,
Mike's point.
he was
Mm-mm.
really, really good. In fact, I was never
Totoo
that because
naman.
he was kind of really awkward and gangly coming from Duke, just really long arms. He was kind of slow. You didn't know if he was slow or fast. But I'll tell you this. And
Mm.
then we were talking about Boston this year. Dude,
Mm-mm.
I'm still of the same thinking that this what Jay said. Udoka figured it out when they got
Mm-mm.
Derek White. They figured out how to make the three work, and
Mm-mm.
I still think they're a little bit kulang in the bench, but apparently it's not needed. And with how the main guys are getting it all together, they don't even their bench is still manipis if you see the rotation, dude.
True.
I'm not believe with Peyton Manning, Peyton Pritchard, and
Uh-uh.
Grant Williams and all that. But there, Jalen Brown is the guy can't miss a layup because he jumps so high. Tatum can do anything on the court apparently, but it's not so good finishing.
Horford has helped
Horford is just has always been a stabilizing force in Boston.
stabilizer. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Thice knows the
Smart
system.
defensive player of the year.
So if you get those seven players, the seven is probably like Tatum, Smart, what's his name, Jalen Brown, Horford, Tice, Derek White, and
Mm-mm.
who
Robert
else?
Williams.
Robert
And
Williams.
well, Williams. Yeah.
Williams. That's your seven solid, and that's there's really. I mean, and then you just add a little bit of Grant
Paminta
Williams and
and
Peyton
Machado.
Pritchard, and that's it. But that's their solid
Uh,
seven guys who've actually been
uh,
there the whole time.
yes,
It's
yes,
not like
yes.
these
You're
guys
right.
are new.
Yeah.
Horford came
Uh,
from that system, and
Yeah,
oh,
Tice is just a
Yep.
nawala lang sandali, bumalik.
bumalik lang.
yeah, diba?
Uh,
So
right, right.
Udoka just harnessed all of what Brad Stevens wanted, and this is what you're seeing now. It all worked out, man.
May
And we
konting
know what
twist
they're doing.
My
with
word,
the pop twist.
Yeah,
diba?
actually, they're playing Spurs basketball now. Is
Yes,
what it is.
exactly. May pop twist.
Yep.
Eh,
Yep.
dun galing si Udoka eh. Dun siya
Yeah.
trained eh.
Yep. So
And
okay,
you're seeing it nga. You're seeing it happen.
we're going to the topic that Joshua wanted to bring up kanina from the start of
Oh,
the
Si,
show.
si Big Baby.
No, see
Bus
Charles,
Rider.
the bus rider
Ayan.
comments,
Oo.
please. So Charles
I
Barkley came out,
I
diba?
That's
completely
hilarious.
agree. I completely agree with Chuck.
What did he say,
He
Muna
is
Jage?
not
Wait,
a bus
let
driver. He is a bus rider.
Yeah,
He rode the Dubs to two championship rings. That's my take on KD. He hasn't won on his own.
Okay, sa akin ganito ah. Can I- can I can, can I
Go.
say lang na there are superstars who are a tier, first top
old
tier
school,
bang bus ba yan?
Bang bus.
old
there are
school.
there are
TJ's laughing.
superstars. Ayan. Ay, hindi, bus driver siya
Natawa na lang
dyan.
si EJ.
Bus driver si KD dyan. Kung bang bus pag-uusapan.
It's all coming back to me now.
Oy, may mga batang nakikinig. Baka
Sandali ah.
Ay,
Okay.
may baby tayo ha.
Yeah,
Isa lang.
sorry. Oh my god.
Okay. So sa akin, there are superstars who are top tier players who are not comfortable with the responsibility of being the top tier player. That's how I see it. So now, if you have KD coming into a Dubs team where there is another top tier player who has taken responsibility, then it
More than one. Come on.
unloads a lot of the pressure on him
Mm-mm.
to perform.
Yeah.
Ngayon, in
Yeah.
theory, that's why the Kyrie and KD show should have worked. It's because you have that other guy dapat to carry that pressure for KD. The problem
Mm.
is, itong other guy na to also had LeBron before to carry the pressure for him.
Oo,
Diba? So,
parehong
so
galing sa
ngayon, they
Robin
come
eh.
into and ngayon, parang nangyayari, nagtuturoan sila on who's gonna take responsibility and who's gonna take
Yeah.
accountability for
Right.
shit now, diba?
Right.
And that's not to say na, KD's crap. There are people, it's a personality thing na that there are people who are not used to performing under pressure. They would
Oo.
rather,
Oo.
they perform better when they fly under the radar. So may mga taong ganon, diba? Pero
I
they
think
didn't,
KD just needs to find who he was with OKC. You know, I mean, he doesn't have, I guess, Russ in a way holding him back, if if anybody else sees it that way, because I think that would happen a lot. There were a lot of times that KD would need it, uh, and Russ was just hugging it a lot. But I think he was a killer there, and he didn't mind being leader. But it's that seems to have disappeared. So I don't know if Tatum's defense was just really that good, but he ended up playing 39, getting 30 plus 39, something like that,
39
right? In the
points in
last
But he had to
in
work
the
really
last
hard
game,
for
but
those.
but then Kyrie naman disappeared, right? And then the lack of a bench and the lack of a supporting cast also killed him. So it's I can't also just put it on KD, but I do agree that so far he's been a bus rider because he's never wanted carrying a team. So that's still something that he has to prove. But time's running out,
Right.
man.
Right.
Yeah,
Okay.
pero
He's not,
AJ,
he's
with the
not getting
point
any younger.
with the point you made earlier nga with OKC, dude, it's the same scenario kasi. Because there was no pressure there because it was all Russ taking the flak from the media, dude, di ba? Kumbaga,
Yeah.
the pressure was, that's
Yeah.
why he performed well there as well as he
Yeah.
performed in
But you
Also,
could
the
say
Dubs,
that
di ba?
that's a good.
Kyrie
Yeah.
took all the flack this season also. I mean, KD was just playing, diba? And everybody
Yeah.
was
Also
like,
true. That's
Kyrie needs
also
to
Well,
true.
play.
Yep.
Kyrie should
Yep.
just, that
Mm-mm.
he was the magnet, for
Yep.
everything. But
Yes.
and
and
Harden was also so I don't know what pressure exactly from the media, because KD would just show up and play unless he was hurt. So for the most part, all the attention was going to Kyrie and Harden.
you know
Because
what?
they were the
No,
ones
KD
that
was just
were
actually
yung
carrying the team the whole time.
pinaka-problematic na no. So
Mhm.
KD was carrying
Mm-mm. Yes, he was.
the team, but this season was a mess.
Dude,
I don't know
Yes.
who would have been able to
I
carry this team. Even a peak, probably peak LeBron. That's it.
okay. I'm gonna have a slightly different take. I don't
Oh,
think KD was a bus rider. I think KD wants to be the leader and wants to be not a bus, yeah, wants to be the bus driver, but he
mm.
can't take the heat. That's the
Exactly.
No, so
problem.
Exactly.
that's
Yes.
Because
but he,
dude,
and so
because
he's not
dude,
a bus driver. He
no,
wants
he
to.
yeah,
Wanting is different from being able to.
yeah, but he doesn't want to be a bus rider also. He goes into
Yeah,
the bus
yeah,
wanting to
sure.
drive it, right?
Yes,
Because he
sure,
went
but he's
into
not
Golden
able to
State,
drive.
maybe.
Kailangan pa niya pumasa sa LTO.
No, maybe maybe ganon. But I don't see what they were talking about when he was given all the keys in Golden State. It's just that
He was.
I mean, how he was
But it's
Finals
easier.
MVP.
It's easier to drive that sort of bus when you have three other drivers there,
Yeah,
man.
but it doesn't matter. He
Di
went
ba?
into Golden State with okay. Tignan mo ha. I come from
Champion na yung
OKC.
team when he
I
went
come
there.
no, I come from OKC and I can't do it with
Oh,
Russell Westbrook. I want to win
oh,
championships. I want to get
oh.
Finals MVP.
So I'll go to the team that I lost to.
Yeah, no, it doesn't matter. You know why? In the end, your purpose was you got rings and you got Finals MVP. You got your
Sure.
goal.
I
That
thought
was his
Steph should have
goal.
had one of those, though.
Doesn't
But yeah,
matter, but he got his goal. Now, when he got all of that, just because he became the bad guy in the whole NBA by going to the Dubs, he can't take the
mm,
heat. He wants to be this good guy. So it's not a problem about being a bus driver or a bus rider. He just can't take the heat period of anything, of
I
any
don't.
adversity
Mm,
in his career,
And
whether it's
mm.
dude, and to that point, in all fairness, KD was the bus driver for the Nets all season. He played well, diba? He had the numbers. The
Yeah.
problem is being the bus driver also means being the leader of the court, dude. Which is what siguro
He's not.
all of
He's
that.
not.
So
that's
yeah,
major related to what Julio's saying that he can't take the heat. He can't take the
Uh-uh.
he can't be the face
and
or
then
the voice of a team, diba? A
and then
leader
he
in that
look,
sense.
and then he'll fall back. This is always so KD. He'll fall back
Mm-mm.
into the guise of I just want to hoop. Oh, come on,
Right,
he
right,
doesn't
Yeah.
like
right, right.
Yep.
interview.
Ganyan
Doesn't
nga
like
siya. Ganyan nga
yeah,
siya.
Yep.
but I'm sorry, huh? I mean, I'm Dubs die hard. He was great in the Dubs. I have no idea why he would leave a situation like that um to supposedly lead another team. He kind of was also leading the Dubs. I mean, I'm a Steph fan, but you cannot say K did not do his part, man. I'm short of saying
Yeah,
we
yeah.
couldn't really have handled LeBron, Kyrie, and Kevin Love if we didn't have KD. It was proven in the last year. I mean,
I will
diba?
supplement what you're saying, Julio. Na
Understood.
I agree that he was already Steph kasi deferred not to him a bit.
A
It's
little,
like
Yep.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Steph knows how to be, and Steph also knows how. We've seen that so many times that Steph knows just to go where he's needed, right?
Yep.
And he'll do
Oo.
that. So in a
Mm.
sense na parang pumasa si KD kay Steph as kind of a bus driver, right? But
Yep.
ultimately, ang magsasign ng approval dyan ay si
Si
Draymond,
Draymond.
right?
Yes.
And then in the end, in
Exactly.
that last year,
Yung
Draymond was
conductor.
starting to call out KD for
For
a lot
having
of
one
bad
foot out the
habits,
door, and
for
yeah,
things that
yeah.
he
Yeah.
shouldn't be doing,
Yes.
maybe a
Yes.
little harshly, but a good
Right.
leader should still be able to take criticism because you're only
Yes.
human and you're not
Yes.
you're not perfect. And in the end,
Yes.
being
He
so
can't take criticism talaga.
non-confrontational that he couldn't, manage
Mm-mm. That's
to
why he left.
uh how do you positively turn that criticism around instead of
Mm-mm.
just going to Twitter and being passive aggressive in so many ways. He just decides to leave because suddenly he perceives this is a toxic situation for him, right? But all the Dubs were doing, especially Draymond, was that you have to still be able to play within this system. And in the end, it's like tingin ni KD, siya yung outsider. But when all they're doing was trying to really make him fit, right?
And
And
they were all,
And
this is a
make him a
system.
part of it.
yeah,
This
Right.
no,
is a system.
Right.
We
Right.
want you nga to be a
yeah,
part of this. We want you to be a
Yes.
part of this. And if you want to
Siya
lead it,
itong...
you can.
yeah.
But
And
you have, yeah,
yeah,
ano,
Draymond was
Julio?
Draymond was asking him to commit, not have that 1 +
Yeah,
1. Yeah, tama, ganon.
Mhm.
Parang
diba?
commit naman.
So, 'di ba? And if you're gonna again, and it's also that season, 'di ba, na parang wishy-washy siya, is he gonna stay, is he gonna go?
Yeah,
So
that's the one.
Draymond, I
That's the
mean, it's like
one.
why wouldn't you? We already,
Exactly.
did all of this, but I mean, 'di
So
ba? So
yes,
so it's like it's there. It was there. So he could have done it if you just it's a lot of ego. It was also a lot of
yeah,
ego combined with a passive aggressive nature, not
Right.
communicating well, not being able to take criticism, just a lot of weak characteristics that just don't make ultimately for a leader, long term.
Yes.
But he
Yes.
was there. They gave it to him.
Mm.
They did it for 2 years,
Yep.
Mhm.
even almost three until it started to fall apart.
Mhm.
And it all
Mhm.
fell on him, right? And now
Yeah.
you can see why, what kind of a
And
personality KD
and
really is.
and it kind of explains also why. Maybe it explains also why OKC never worked. Because there were no leaders also there, diba? I mean,
yeah,
despite all the talent they had, dude, that they
Oo.
they were
True.
almost there, and it just didn't work, diba?
Kaya
Mhm.
nga hindi ko alam why KD wouldn't just defer to Steph then. I mean,
he didn't want to.
he
That's why he doesn't
succeeded
know what.
so much. He succeeded so
Yeah,
much with the Warriors that ultimately we don't know what he's thinking. I mean, specifically, we can say, oh no, definitely it was this, definitely was- he wanted to win by himself. He was an outsider, but ultimately
No,
we don't know exactly
but
what.
kasi you know why? You know why I think kasi in the Dubs he had it so easy. The leadership came. It was offered to him in a platter.
Yeah,
Yes, it
And he
was.
thought it
It
and he
was.
thought it
Eto,
was
sige. Oh, go
he
ahead.
thought it was gonna be that easy moving to another team and assuming that role again without working
Again,
hard and building
kala niya
up
ganun
to
kadali
that
yun.
leadership
Oo.
role, dude.
Yeah,
Kasi iba
that's
yung
so
iba
true. Yeah.
yung ano binigay sa iba yung the
Iba yung
traditional way of you
kukunin mo
building.
at gagawa mo ng paraan.
Exactly.
Tama.
Exactly. So he thought it
Tama.
was gonna be that easy, diba? And it
Yeah.
just wala. But he's not a leader. Again, ako kasi I really know it's either you're a leader or you're not. It's not
Oo.
easy or it's not something that you can learn, read books about, and become a leader or
Right. Right.
after.
but
Ako
now,
to summarize.
that's where I
Cupcake.
was
yeah,
going. To summarize, KD is go.
Cupcake.
Cup.
Cupcake.
Yeah,
Cupcake.
he
Ako,
wants
can I
to be.
just give my
Okay, okay.
takeaway? Ako, yung takeaway ko dito sa lahat. It's not about the bus driver or the bus rider. It's about the conductor, dude. It's about the Draymond Greens. It's about the Draymond Greens dahil sila ang bahala. Okay.
Me naman, it's just, yeah, if one is a cupcake, one needs a conductor. KD is not a bus rider. He wanted to be a bus driver na hindi nagmamaneho.
Yan. Sa harap siya. siya yung sa harap. Siya yung sa harap na backseat driver.
Front seat driver.
Backseat
you know,
driver.
he's gonna be one. He's gonna be put
Nakakuha
on one
ng
of those
lisensya,
buses, you know.
pero umupo sa likod.
You know, it's-
Ano naman?
put him-
Go, EJ.
you put him on the bus, you know, but then you gotta put the quarter for it to work. That's the bus that he's gonna drive. Tapos,
Hindi, or bigyan mo siya pwede siya bigyan ng dummy manibela sa likod.
Yun.
oh, yun lang, ganun.
Oo, dummy manibela. KD, ikaw magmaneho ha, pero he's sitting in the back, di ba?
So yan na. That's KD. Last one before we close the show because the KD thing took long. Where do we go with Brooklyn? Where do we go with Ben Simmons? Who do you want to talk about to end the show? Ben
I don't know what
Simmons.
they're gonna do, really, man. I don't know if they're gonna keep that core. They surely need to improve that lineup and that roster if they wanna shot at it again. Who knows, man? They're probably pissed at Ben also for not, diba?
They are, dude. They are.
They
For
are.
not
They are.
Actually,
staying.
like
For not
the
staying.
Nets officials, you know, wanted to talk to him and his agent, like, what the hell's going on here?
Right.
Diba? I mean, akala
Yeah.
namin he just wanted out of the Sixers, but why didn't he play
Oh.
for us too?
Right.
What's going on?
Also,
And then
yeah.
he keeps falling back on that. What do you call this? That mental problem. He has a
mental
mental
thing.
block. I mean, come on.
Wag na
What's
lang siya
what's going on? If
mag-basketball kung
then
ganyan.
if you
Wag na
have
lang siya
that,
maglaro.
you know, I mean, take yourself out of of the game.
Dude, it's a
Who-
constant loop now with him. Diba? If that's what he's saying, it's a constant loop now where you're saying what happened to you in the playoffs last year is the cause of your back injuries. So pabalik-balik na tayo. You'll never
can't
play
play.
again.
Yeah,
You'll
yeah,
never play again. Diba? And
Wala.
before everyone gets surprised about all of these things happening around Ben Simmons. Let's not forget, dude, this was not the first time he gave up on his team.
Oh yeah, you saw that.
If you look at if you did you read that
Yep, I read that.
throughout his career, dude, LSU, he never performed in LSU. He just did enough to get drafted in the NBA. So it was very selfish. He didn't help the team. It was not. There's no motivation to win.
Yeah.
Ilang beses na rin he gave up on the Australia national team that he said he was gonna play, and then
They didn't play.
2-3 times na he committed to playing and then backed out last minute, including last year's Olympics. So, last year's Olympics. So
I
this is
don't
not
think
really a
he's,
surprise.
I don't think he wants to play. Not at all. I mean, if he's using his mental issues as an excuse.
Diba? Yep.
K Love came out saying that he has anxiety, that he has mental issues. But dude, the guy's playing. The guy's been playing. He's been showing up for the Cavs. I mean, it's bullshit. I think it's all really just bullshit.
And you know what's
Don't
sad?
play anymore, man. Leave the league. You're not
And you-
needed if that's how you are.
Yeah. And you know what's sad for me is that after all this, they be swept. Simmons goes back into training camp. They extend Kyrie in the offseason, and Brooklyn will get a bunch of minimum vet ring chasers again, and they will be again the number one contenders next season. That's where
That's
I
what
see
you
all
think.
of this going. Yep. I mean, as long as they don't get blown up, that's the way it's gonna be. And then I'm gonna have to believe your word, Jay. That's all gold. Final, EJ, go. Final thoughts.
Final thoughts. I believe he does have a mental problem, but it's not what we think. I believe he has a
Yeah.
narcissistic personality disorder.
There you go. I'm with
Yes.
EJ.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Because
there you go.
he has an inflated sense of his own importance ever since LSU,
Yes.
Australia, and he
Yep.
doesn't give it
Yes.
his all because he feels like he's above
Mhm.
everything. That feeling niya, ibibigay ko na lang pag nandyan na sa, in the moment, in the bright lights and everything, right? So
Mhm.
because that's what he's looking for, the excessive attention and admiration. Dun siya magpa-perform, right?
Like
He's
those
got troubled
videos.
relationships and he really doesn't care about anyone else but himself.
Mhm.
So feel niya ang sarili niya. And then that all imploded on itself last season when he lost in the
Right.
playoffs and everybody blamed him, and he couldn't take it. Suddenly, his
Tampo.
narcissism was clashing with the reality na he isn't all that.
Yeah.
When that
Yes.
happens, you have a problem. When that happens,
Yeah.
the real mental issues really start to come out, and that's what he's struggling with. That's why he's got a
Preach!
Thank
Preach!
you.
Mismo,
Thank
EJ.
you, Dr. EJ.
Dr. Fafa EJ.
Dr. EJ, parang Dr.
Of
J.
course, I
no?
really don't know what the fuck I'm talking about, okay? Because I'm not really a doctor.
But you know what?
Me.
That's
I
the
think
best
it's
way to end. That's the
Yeah.
best way to
Yeah,
end. the
let's
show.
end it there. Baka may masabi pa kami ni
Yeah,
Jay.
yeah. Thank you, Joshua, Andre. Thank you to everyone who watched the show. Joe
Manol.
Smith, Manoli, Errol for the
Yeah.
first time. Thank you for commenting on the show.
you,
Did I
Errol.
miss anybody out? And well, if I missed out on anyone,
Yep.
thank you for checking out the show. This is a long
Yes.
discussion. I hope you guys
Yeah.
enjoyed it.
YouTube,
as
please.
Please don't forget to subscribe to all our social channels.
Yeah,
That's
dagdagan nyo naman
Facebook.
yung 11 subscriber namin dyan.
Oh, and click on that notification so you get like on Facebook, like there's that little thing that you press
para you guys
to get
know when the next
notified
show
when we're
happens.
on and we're live. And Jay,
Alrighty,
if
man.
if EJ gave us the diagnosis, you give us the treatment.
As always, we said it first. Here on Gober.
The Ben Simmons.
The Wedge. Bye-bye.
Bye. Take care.
Bye-bye.